What if I told you that most people can't actually tell the difference between a $3,000 sofa and a $700 one unless you accidentally reveal it? And once you understand what they're subconsciously looking for, you can make your entire home look dramatically more expensive without spending anywhere near luxury prices. Because here's the truth that almost nobody in furniture marketing says out loud: expensive furniture doesn't look expensive because of the price tag. It looks expensive because of a very specific visual language that your brain has already been trained to recognize. Over the past decade, as platforms like Pinterest and Instagram exploded, something interesting happened to consumer awareness. According to multiple home furnishing industry reports, over 70% of American buyers now say design and aesthetic is just as important as durability when choosing furniture. That means people aren't just buying function anymore. They're buying a look. And once a look becomes recognizable, it becomes replicable. Which raises a simple but powerful question. If the look is what matters, why are so many people still overpaying for it? Here's where it gets interesting. When you walk into a high-end showroom, whether it's a boutique in Soho or a polished West Elm floor display, your brain isn't calculating material cost. It's picking up signals: clean lines, balanced proportions, consistent finishes, negative space, subtle textures. These are the cues that read as expensive. And once you start seeing them, you realize something almost uncomfortable. Many budget pieces fail not because they're cheap, but because they ignore those signals entirely. So what happens if you only buy pieces that get those signals right? Before we get into exact pieces, I want you to think about your own home for a second. Which item in your space feels the most off? Not broken, not ugly, just slightly out of place. The odds are high it's not because it's low quality. It's because it breaks the visual language of everything around it. And fixing that doesn't require replacing everything. It requires choosing better anchors. Let's start with the single most important piece in almost any American living room: the sofa. This is where most people either instantly elevate their space or quietly downgrade it without realizing why. The biggest mistake? Overstuffed silhouettes and bulky armrests. They feel comfortable in the store, but visually they read as heavy and dated. High-end sofas, on the other hand, almost always follow three rules. They sit slightly lower, they have cleaner arms, often track or slim slope arms, and they expose at least a bit of leg underneath. Now here's the question most people never ask: why does showing the legs matter so much? Because visible legs create negative space, and negative space creates the illusion of lightness. That's why a $600 sofa with slim wooden legs can look more expensive than a $2,000 sofa that sits like a solid block on the floor. Once you see that, you can't unsee it. So what are the exact types of affordable sofas that hit this look? You want to look for mid-century inspired frames or modern minimalist silhouettes. Think tight back cushions instead of overstuffed ones, neutral upholstery like warm beige, soft gray or muted olive, and legs in natural wood or matte black. There are multiple options from places like IKEA, Amazon, and even lesser-known online retailers that consistently deliver this aesthetic under $1,000. And here's the key. When you pair that sofa with the right coffee table, it stops looking like a budget choice entirely. It starts looking intentional. Which brings us to the next piece, the coffee table. And this is where things quietly go wrong in a lot of homes. Because most people treat the coffee table as a filler piece, when in reality it's a visual anchor. And the difference between cheap-looking and expensive-looking here often comes down to one thing: shape and material honesty. Let me ask you something. When you picture a high-end living room, do you imagine a glass table with chrome legs and a busy lower shelf? Or do you imagine something simpler, maybe a solid wood block, a rounded-edge table, or a sculptural form? That's not an accident. Expensive spaces tend to avoid visual noise. They favor fewer, stronger elements. This is why one of the most reliable, looks expensive coffee tables is a simple round or oval table in wood, stone, or a convincing stone finish. Rounded shapes soften a space and feel more custom, while rectangular tables with thin metal frames can sometimes read as mass-produced if not chosen carefully. And here's a subtle detail most people miss: thickness. A slightly thicker tabletop, even in a budget material, often reads as higher quality, because it mimics the proportions of solid wood or stone pieces. Now think about this. If your sofa creates lightness through its legs and your coffee table adds weight and grounding through its form, what happens when those two elements are balanced correctly? The entire room starts to feel designed, even if nothing in it was particularly expensive. Next, we need to talk about accent chairs because this is where you can add personality without breaking the visual consistency. And this is also where people either elevate their space instantly or introduce chaos. The mistake here is usually overcomplicating things. Bold patterns, unusual shapes, or mismatched materials that fight the rest of the room. But here's the surprising part. Many high-end interiors actually rely on very simple accent chairs. Clean silhouettes, neutral fabrics, maybe a subtle texture like boucle or linen. The difference is in proportion and finish. Slightly angled legs, a well-defined frame, upholstery that looks structured rather than slouchy. There are affordable options right now, especially online, that replicate this look extremely well. And once you place one of these next to a well-chosen sofa, something interesting happens. The room starts to tell a consistent story. And consistency, more than anything, is what people read as expensive. Now here's a question I want you to sit with for a second. If someone walked into your home right now, what would they assume you spent the most money on? And more importantly, would they be right? Because in the next part of this video, we're going to get into the pieces that quietly influence that perception the most, the ones people don't consciously notice, but that completely change how your home is read. Things like lighting, rugs, and storage pieces that can either tie everything together or undo all the progress you just made. And one of those categories has a single mistake that almost everyone watching this is making right now. And once you fix it, your entire space shifts immediately. What if the pieces you've been paying the least attention to are the exact ones deciding whether your home looks expensive or not? Because once your big furniture is doing the right things, clean lines, good proportions, consistent finishes, the game shifts. It's no longer about what you bought. It's about how everything connects. And this is where most homes quietly fall apart. Let's start with lighting, because this is the fastest way to upgrade a space without replacing a single major piece of furniture. And here's the mistake almost everyone makes, relying on overhead lighting as the primary source of light. It's convenient, it's built in, and it feels sufficient. But visually, it flattens the room. It removes shadows, reduces depth, and makes even good furniture look less intentional. High-end spaces almost never rely on a single light source. They layer light. Now ask yourself this. When you picture a luxury hotel or a well-designed home, where is the light coming from? It's coming from multiple levels, a floor lamp in the corner, a table lamp near the sofa, maybe a warm glow from a sconce. This creates pockets of light and shadow, and your brain reads that variation as depth and sophistication. And the best part is this is one of the easiest things to replicate affordably. You don't need designer fixtures, you need the right shapes and finishes. A slim floor lamp with a simple linen shade, a ceramic or matte finish table lamp with a slightly oversized base, warm bulbs, and this matters more than people think, in the $2,700K range instead of harsh white light. And here's a detail that changes everything: symmetry. 2 matching lamps on either side of a sofa or console instantly make a space feel more considered, even if each lamp was under $100. Now think about this. If your lighting creates depth, what is the one element that defines the space everything sits on? The rug. And this is where one single mistake is quietly making thousands of homes look cheaper than they actually are. Rugs that are too small. It sounds simple, but it's one of the most common design mistakes in the United States. A rug that floats in the middle of the room, not touching any major furniture, breaks the visual connection between pieces. It makes everything feel like it's drifting instead of belonging. High-end spaces almost always use larger rugs that anchor the entire seating area. At minimum, the front legs of your sofa and chair should sit on the rug. Ideally, all major pieces connect to it. Now here's the question most people ask next. Don't larger rugs cost a lot more? Yes, but here's the shift in thinking. A slightly more expensive large rug will make every other piece in your room look better. A cheap small rug will make everything look worse. So where is your money actually doing more work? When it comes to style, the same rule applies as before. Simplicity and material honesty. Neutral tones, subtle patterns, or vintage-inspired designs with low contrast tend to read more expensive because they don't compete for attention. And here's a small but powerful trick. A rug with a slightly faded or distressed look often feels more high-end than something that looks overly new and perfect. It mimics age, and age in design is often associated with quality. Now let's move to storage pieces, media consoles, sideboards, shelving units, because these are the quiet backbone of a room. And this is where a lot of budget spaces accidentally introduce visual clutter through the furniture itself. Busy designs, too many compartments, glossy finishes that reflect everything in the room. All of these can make a space feel less refined. So what do expensive-looking storage pieces do differently? They simplify. Flat fronts, minimal hardware or no visible hardware at all, natural wood tones, matte black, or soft neutral finishes, and proportions that feel grounded, not too tall, not too narrow, not overly segmented. There are surprisingly affordable options right now that follow this exact formula. Clean-lined media consoles with hidden storage, sideboards with push-to-open doors, open shelving with consistent spacing and simple frames. And when you combine one of these with good styling, and we'll get to that in a second, the entire wall starts to feel intentional. But here's the question that ties all of this together. If your furniture is right, your lighting is layered, your rug anchors the space, and your storage is clean, what's left? The answer is the part most people either overdo or completely ignore. Styling. And this is where the difference between a home that looks put together and one that looks genuinely expensive becomes very clear. Because expensive spaces don't just have good furniture, they have restraint. Let me ask you something. When you look at a shelf, a coffee table, or a console in your home, how many objects are on it right now? And if you removed half of them, would the remaining ones look more important? High-end styling is rarely about adding more, it's about editing. A small stack of books, a single sculptural object, maybe a plant or a piece of pottery. Negative space again plays a role here. It gives each object room to be seen. And here's a detail that most people miss completely. Consistency of material and tone. If your room is built around warm woods and soft neutrals, introducing a bunch of random glossy or brightly colored objects can break the entire visual flow. But when your accessories echo the same palette and textures as your furniture, everything starts to feel connected. Now step back and think about what we've actually done here. We didn't chase brands. We didn't rely on expensive labels. We focused on signals. The visual language of expensive design, clean lines, balanced proportions, thoughtful materials, layered lighting, proper scale, and restraint in styling. And once you understand that language, something changes. You stop asking, how much does this cost? And you start asking, what does this communicate? Because that's what your home is doing, whether you realize it or not. It's communicating something the moment someone walks in. Not just about your taste, but about how intentional your choices are. So here's the final question I want to leave you with. If you replaced just 3 pieces in your home, or even adjusted 3 things based on what you learned today, which ones would create the biggest shift? Because the goal isn't to rebuild your entire space. It's to make a few smarter decisions that change how everything else is perceived. Your home doesn't need to be expensive to look expensive. It needs to be consistent. It needs to be intentional. And now you know exactly how to do that. If this changed the way you see your space, take a moment to look around your home again, slowly this time. You'll start noticing things you didn't notice before. And once you see them, you'll know exactly what to do next. Dear viewer, if you found value in this video, like it and share it with friends and family. Subscribe to our channel and turn on the bell icon so that you will be notified every time we upload a new video. Thank you for watching until the end. We will see you in our next video. Until then, stay safe and stay blessed.